So now we begin our best of the best with a couple honorable mentions. This is one for you. Your honorable mention was Stall for Time. You want to take it away? Talk about this card.
Sure. So over the weekend, I was able to play in a pre-release, and this card absolutely took games from our opponents. It stole them. It's just like you could see the hope leave their face. And for that reason, I'm giving this an honorable mention. You pay it for 3, you're happy. You pay it for 5, you're happier. This card's beautiful. Um, it's a new pet card. Targets 2 things. So yeah,
Fair
I'm
enough.
just ecstatic.
All right. Stall for Time goes the honorable mention from Josh. My honorable mention is a little bit of a hot take. I think people aren't really going to expect my honorable mention, but it is Battlefly Swarm. Um, this card is just bonkers. I think this card is going to be great next to a bunch of fairies and a bunch of ninjas. Um, I think this card is good at pretty much any stage of the game that you draw it in. The only thing that could make this card better is if it said draw a card in its text box, and it would be a rare. So I think this card is about as good as a common can be, and I'm really happy about it. I think a lot of people are going to get ninjutsus off of this card, and it's gonna put a lot of really awkward blocker decisions on people in constructed Pauper in the near future. Um, yeah, I think I'm excited to see what this card does to the format, but I think it'll do something. With that, let's run into our best of the best. We're going to kick it off in Wooburg order, of course, with our white best card of the set, Destroy Evil. Um, Go ahead.
Oh yeah. No, Destroy Evil is just everything you ever want out of a card. It hits all of the creatures that are going to kill you in constructed. Especially with gates running around, you are going to gotcha your opponent so much, especially if you're baiting them with playing red. And Destroy Target Enchantment is incredibly relevant even in the mirror match. It hits so many things incidentally with the Destroy Target Enchantment, but you are never going to lose with this card in your hand, and that's what I enjoy about this. It's it's just beautiful on both sides.
Yeah, I agree. Honestly, like I read this card and I was like, oh great, another one of these, and I completely discounted it. And then I read it a couple more times and I was like, wait, this is pretty good. And then I read it again and I was just like, wow, this card's like it does everything I want it to do. And then I thought about it more and I was like, wow, this card really does everything I want it to do. And now I'm just convinced it's insane. Um, this card is almost certainly going to be the most played white card of this set in constructed Pauper. Um, this card will almost certainly be in a non-zero number of cubes, probably mine and many others. Um, this card's going to see some sideboard play. It's going to see some mainboard play, especially in a field full of affinity. This card hits everything good from affinity. Um, it even has play against boggles because while you can't kill the creature, you can kill one of the enchantments. Um, it has play against the pestilence decks. Um, it can kill pestilence. It can play against Reanimator. It can kill your Dragon's Breaths or your Dragon's Wings. It can, I mean, this, or it can just kill your Ulamog's Crusher if you're not playing a Hexproof Beast. Um, I mean, this card just does all the things you want it to do. It's easily going to be the most played white card of this set. Grab a play set of foils as soon as you can. You're going to want them. Yep. Next up is the blue best card of the set. I mean, it's no surprise here. There's no hot take. It's Talarian Terror. I mean, this card is bonkers on every measure of the scale. It is a potential 1 mana 5/5 with Ward 2 in Pauper. Its reduction cost is tied to the graveyard. Its reduction cost is tied to instants or sorceries. It's a blue bomb. Like, everything is going for this card. this card probably won't dethrone Gurmag Angler as the premier 1-drop 5/5. Um, but it's coming for it. I think that as a blue bomb, this is going to be played in far more decks than Gurmag Angler. Um, but man, is this card good? You got any bonus gushes for this card? Because wow, I
I
can't
mean,
believe this is a common.
right. It's uh, it's good in certain variations of Reanimator, even like just trying to cheat it into play
Yeah,
is fine, but also just playing it for the one in that same Reanimator deck, you're
yep,
just this. It's crazy to be able to play what you were trying to cheat into play,
yep,
but faster than you would be able to cheat it into play.
yep.
So, uh, yeah, I no, this is hands down Blue's best card.
Yeah, I would agree. I would tell you to get your foils, but they're probably already sold out. Everyone and their mom knows this is the best card in the set for this format. Good luck finding them. You're gonna want them. Black is potentially a spicy pick. I think a lot of people are gonna expect Shambling Necromass here, but instead we went with Shadow Prophecy. Um, I think the more we talked about this card, the more we both liked this card. So I'll let you take a stab at this one first. What do you got?
Yeah. So when the X being most often 2 is still just great. Instant speed. You could always keep your mana up. You could do something else with it. You just this card lets you do what you want when you want and have it your way. I am just a huge fan of this. It might take a bit of finagling because it does cost 3, and generally you want to do something else with your mana. But then again, the instant lets you do that. So hold your kill spell up. They don't do anything. You haven't lost your turn completely. You drew a very good comparison between this and what you would expect an instant speed Night's Whisper to look like. And it's this. This is the card.
Yep.
You can absolutely play this in decks that have more than 2 colors, but the only time you're not playing this is if you are monocolored.
Yeah. Mono Black, I think, is the only deck that doesn't play this card.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. This is instant Night's Whisper, and in every deck that's not Mono Black, this card is just upside. Anything past 2 is bonus. This card is good enough at X equals 2. Play it. Just play it. Next up, another. You almost certainly were able to guess what the best red card in the set was. It's Smash Dust. I mean, let's be honest. Can you think of a single modal spell in Pauper that has this many relevant options? Because I certainly can't. This thing is a modal spell with 3 choices, and every one of those is relevant in the Pauper metagame. Like, just in the top 10 decks, this thing sideboards into 7 of them. Like, this is such a sideboard value card that I can't imagine not putting this in my red decks. Like, it'll free sideboard slots up for me.
Mm.
And then it just also happens to hit defenders, which is hilarious, but completely unnecessary.
Right. Yeah, the closest card that I could think of that has any relevance in terms of hitting more than one thing is like Skullduggery. But
Yeah.
I don't know of any like modal spells that have so many applicable modes. Like,
Agreed.
is it charm just got downshifted, and I think this is better than that.
Right, exactly. The only negative this card has is that it's a sorcery, and even then, I don't think that's enough to make it bad. Um, buy more than a playset of foils of this card. Buy 8 by 12. You're gonna need a lot of them if you use more than one Pauper deck at a time. This card's gonna be in a lot of sideboards. It just is. Like, prepare for it. You're going to see it a lot. People are going to have this card left, right, and center ready for any deck it's good against. And they're almost certainly going to have 3 to 4 of them in the board for it. So be ready. It's coming. There'll be a lot around. The green card is potentially a surprising pick, but honestly, I mean, what else could it be? It's Llanowar Stalker. I'll let you lead off on this one.
Yeah, so we previously said it. This is just a really, really good one drop. Elves wants it. A green red deck for the future would want it. Just with going with the best case scenario, swinging for like 6 on turn 2
Yep.
is going to be the most value anyone has ever gotten out of a one drop in the history of Magic. This card is just a way better Foundry Street Denizen, just because it cares about any creature. It's regardless of creature type, it's regardless of color, regardless of power, toughness, creed, religion, all of it. It accepts everything, and it hits that much harder.
Yeah, I think I mean I agree. This card is just better. Foundry Street Denizen. I think this card is probably gonna make a lot of people try a red green Stompy deck. I think this card is gonna make a lot of people who had mono green Stompy, not too long ago, and try to refresh it a little bit and see what it can do. Because the best one drop in mono green Stompy previously was Young Wolf, and while Young Wolf is a good card and Llanowar Elves is a good card, this card is vastly better than both of those in those decks. I mean, you slam this down after, a couple of like Nest Invader chains or like Burning Tree Emissary chains where it's got 2, 3, sometimes even 4 triggers, going into turn 3 or 4. If you can make a mana to throw a Rancor on this card, man, this card's good. It had to be Llanowar Stalker. I'm psyched to put this in Elves. I'm interested in playing this in some Stompy decks. This may even see some weird fringe like combo deck kill conditions where you're making infinite tokens or something, and this gets to swing as an infinite one. I'm excited to see what people do with this card. I think it's going to be really, really good, and you're going to see a lot of it. Last but not least, the non-colored best card of the set, and probably the second best card as far as impact on Pauper in general, goes to Shield Wall Sentinel. I mean, go ahead and gush, man. This card's incredible for you.
Yeah. Oh man, this gets you anything you ever could want out of the Wonderwall deck. You can find the Transmute Defender, where you can get any 3-drop that is your win condition. You can use this to find your mana source, which just so happens to have Defender. You can find your Haste Enabler. You can find I have a shorter list of what it can't find in there. Okay. And we did go over it a bit when we discussed artifacts earlier, but this is just everything that walls could ever want. Colorless even makes it that much better and easier to squeeze in. I don't think you're putting in as 4 of, but 2 of, maybe 3. You're going to find these. You're going to want them. I'm going to get some in foil. It's just...
Yeah,
sorry, I'm tearing up.
What else can you say? I mean, this card is everything that deck hoped. Like, that deck couldn't design a better card for itself. And I think we're gonna wrap it up on that. hopefully, guys, you've enjoyed the common set review. Take this info into your release events going into this weekend. Good luck in your sealed pools, and have fun, man. Have fun at the release parties. I for sure am going to be shuffling up a couple limited. If you guys enjoyed, share the videos. Honestly, that's the best thing that you can do for me. Share them to your Pauper friends. Comment below if you think we misevaluated or underrepresented any of your favorite cards of the set. And if anything carried you through to a limited victory, or you're going to windmill slam some of these into your cube that you don't think we talked about enough, let me know. I'll see you guys at the next set review. Have a good one.